Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be ranking all the episodes of the Book of Boba Fett from the worst to the best. I'm going to be going in depth in a lot of these episodes. I'm really excited. Definitely to talk about the finale a little bit more and just to share my ranking of all the episodes. Let's get into this. Okay, so at number 7 I have episode 3. I really didn't feel like episode 3 did anything for me personally. The Tuscans are dead, but I feel like we should have gotten a few more episodes to get to know them. Because, it's just kind of episode 2 and that was it. Episode 1 did have them in it, but I didn't really feel any connection to them. They were kind of torturing Boba more than anything. But in episode 2, he actually became part of their tribe. I feel like episode 3 should have furthered along Boba's connection to them and, I don't know, just learn more about the Tusken Raiders as people a little bit more before maybe in episode 4 or 5, then having the Tusken Raiders be killed off for the story. I just feel like that would be the best way to do this, but I feel like the Tusken Raiders were killed off way too early. Other than that, there's nothing really interesting in this episode. To be honest, this is this speeder bike gang, but they kind of look way too weird for Star Wars. I don't really think they should be in this. Maybe on Coruscant, but definitely not on Tatooine. They just kind of stand out too much. They have too many bright colors, and they're not really interesting characters at all. So yeah, they're not really interesting. The Peter bag chase they have with that tentacle guy that worked with the mayor. That was really slow and boring. Didn't really have anything going for it. Probably just like the worst. Boba could have just used his jetpack to catch up with him. So just kind of feels pointless and it's boring. Okay, there's not really wasn't really anything interesting about that chase scene or the whole episode. There's a bunch of other little pointless scenes. I think this is the episode where the Hutch just kind of leave the story. Like those two twin Huts that appeared in episode 2, I think they kind of just leave Boba to just like rule Tatooine. I guess that was weird. And unless they come back in season 2, that is just like the weirdest crap ever. Like, why have these characters in there if they're not going to do anything? I do think they'll appear in Book of Boba Fett season 2 if there is going to be one. But if they're not, I just think that that's the biggest waste of time even introducing those characters. Why not spend more time in the flashbacks with the Tuskens or something? That would be cool, but no, that's just a waste of time. These two Huts just kind of come in and kind of pose a threat, and then they kind of just leave. It's just kind of a waste of time. Okay, I was kind of excited to see them do something, but then they kind of leave. So yeah, that was stupid. That could be in episode 4. I actually can't even remember at this point. But yeah, that's what I have to say about episode 3. It just really isn't the best episode. It pains me though. I just don't like it. Okay, this is definitely my least favorite episode of Book of Boba Fett. Not by far though. I feel like the next episode is kind of somewhat close to this one. Number 6 is the Gathering Storm, I think. Yeah, I think it's the Gathering Storm. So this episode is cool, I guess. Boba finds Fennec Shand, who appeared in The Mandalorian. Firstly in season 1, episode 5, she was left for dead, and this is when Boba finds her. Of course, she appears later on in The Mandalorian in season 2, and also earlier in the Book of Boba Fett in the real time scenes on the flashbacks. But this is the first time hearing the flashbacks. I was hoping to get some explanation why Fennec was teaming up with Boba, but we just didn't really get enough explanation. Like, I really don't understand what was going on with this episode. Like, why did Fennec team up with Boba? It just kind of feels like she is just for no reason. Why isn't she going out bounty hunting? Okay, is she understanding why Boba is quitting the job? I don't really feel like she is. I feel like Fennec doesn't really have a real character. I feel like we should have learned a lot more about her in this show. Okay, I feel like she was a lot more interesting in the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian. But in Book of Boba Fett, she kind of just kind of stating the plot, and that's just kind of it. So yeah, I don't really find her really that entertaining. They go back into Jabba's palace, and basically take over the whole joint, and it was really cool. But it's just kind of forgettable to me, which is annoying. Okay, I just really don't feel like it has anything to it, and that's just kind of it. Um, I think he killed Bib Fortuna in this episode. Was that it? Or something. I don't know. Something like that happened, but I don't really know. Yeah, it was just kind of boring. But a sound when they were breaking into Jabba's palace was actually the same sound as Anakin cutting off Count Dooku's head in Episode 3, which is a big callback. When I listened to that sound, I knew I heard it from somewhere, but I didn't actually know where. And it's actually really cool that they included that Easter egg. Kind of reminds us that the Kenobi show comes out on May 25th. So yeah, I can't wait to talk about that and rank all of those episodes. So yeah. So overall, I don't really think this episode is bad per se, but whatever. As I said, I think this episode should have been focused on Boba's relationship with the Tuscans more, but now the Tuscans are dead, so just have to throw them out of the window. Oh man, it's unfortunate we only get to see them really in the first two episodes in the flashbacks, because I really like that whole fleshing out the Tuscan Raiders thing. I think that was so cool. Okay, of course there is like Tuscan Raiders who were the bad guys, who we see in episode 1, 2, and 4, but there is actually some just Tuscan Raiders that are good. Okay, they're not just mindless killers. Okay, we kind of see a little bit more of another side of Tuscan Raiders, another side of Tatooine. Okay, the sad thing is it is Tatooine, and we're stuck here for basically the whole of the show. Okay, this is the last episode that is taking place on just Tatooine. Uh, well, actually, no. Episode 7 is taking place on just Tatooine, basically. But whatever, especially when we're going to get the Kenobi show later this year. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, but like, I'm going to, because that has to take place on Tatooine in the Kenobi show, and everyone wants that and everything. But it's just kind of annoying. Tatooine is basically just everywhere. We have to stay on Tatooine, this boring desert planet. Whatever. What else happens in this episode? Oh yeah, so Boba goes with this slave one and tries to go and get back his armor from the Sarlacc pit. For some reason, he thinks it's still in there. I don't know why he thinks it's still in there. Doesn't well maybe his memory is bad, but I don't know how it could still be in there. How did he lose his armor? Well, I don't think it could have ripped off of him, but whatever. I think it was pretty obvious that someone like people like Jawas took it, because that's just Jawa's whole personality, taking the armor. So yeah, and then he goes and kills the speeder bike gang, who he thinks killed the Tuscans, uh, because he learned that last episode. Yeah, it's a cool scene. Whatever. Also, yeah, the save one did actually get trapped into the Sarlacc pit again. So, imagine that happened. Boba got killed by the Sarlacc pit. Like again, imagine that was the end of the show. Boba goes back into the Sarlacc pit. That would just be just kind of stupid, to be honest. Really, really stupid. So yeah, you're just talking about the flashbacks all this time. Not much really happens in real time. This is actually the last episode with the flashbacks in it, because the rest of the episodes don't really even focus on Boba Fett. So yeah, whatever. The rest of the episode was like Boba trying to get tame the Rancor and stuff, and he is eventually going to ride it in episode 7, which I thought was cool, but I'm going to talk about that later. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I like the fact that Rancors can kind of be like tamed like pets, and also kind of a callback to the Star Wars Holiday Special. Oh well, we really need some callbacks to that masterpiece. Basically, there was like a little animation in it where a Boba rode something that was like way bigger than a Rancor. So that was really cool. He did say in the episode that he had rode something a lot bigger. So yeah, that was really cool. Some fan service. I've never actually watched the holiday special in its entirety. I'm really glad I haven't because that would be a waste of time. There's also a scene where he gets everyone together to like form a meeting and stuff. And yeah, I forgot the details about that scene because I don't really care. But we do get a tease for the Mandalorian at the end with the Mandalorian music playing. So Yeah, Mandalorian next episode. We probably won't see much of him next episode. You know what I mean? Who am I kidding? Next up. So, number 5 is episode 1 for me. I think this was actually a pretty good episode on its own. The following 4 episodes I think are better, but I like this episode. It's pretty good. I like the way Boba escapes. He should have used his flamethrower, but I understand why they did it. That was the way how we got out in Legends. And I'm not saying I don't like Legends or anything, but maybe they just did it this way to maybe make it different from Legends. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you use this flamethrower in Legends. I don't know that much about Legends, and kind of feel just annoying about talking about it because I haven't read it at all, read any of the Legends books or anything. And I know there's some Legends fanboys out there, and they're probably gonna get angry if I say anything bad about Legends. So yeah, Boba gets out of the Sarlacc pit and basically lays there on the sand forever because he's absolutely exhausted, and Jawas take away his armor and everything and stuff. So yeah, we get to see Tamora Morrison's face for the whole episode. That's great. Personally, I do think Tamora Morrison looks way too old for this part. Okay, just I really feel like they should have used some like de-aging technology or something, but because he really looks way too old. I think Boba's supposed to be like 41 in this episode, but whatever. He looks like a regular clone would, because they would usually have like advanced aging, which would make them 82. I don't think Tamara Morrison looks that old, but seriously, man. Yeah, he looks pretty old and stuff, but that's fine for me. It doesn't really take anything away from the show. I'm just pointing it out. I do like this following scenes about how Boba's kind of tortured and brought back to the Tusken camp. Uh, I just think it was actually kind of fun. But I do have a problem, because like when I think Boba in this episode, when he was first trying to escape the camp, he probably should have just like probably just wrecked his way, could have killed that Rodian that was right there, because I just don't understand why he didn't do it. Of course, Boba in a lot of the show is a changed man, but he isn't a changed man right now. He had not been part of the tribe, okay? He was just, this is right beforehand, so why is he being so soft in this part of the episode? Okay, I understand why he's soft in other parts of the show, but in this, I just really feel like he's just unnecessarily soft, and then maybe he should be kind of consistent with the rest of the show. But it's not really a big issue, to be honest, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Stuff that happens not in the flashbacks, I can't really remember that much about that stuff. I mean, there's kind of like a fight scene where loads of these guards come to surround Boba, and for some reason Boba doesn't use his jetpack to get away. That's kind of annoying. I do wish this episode had maybe like a little bit more action and stuff like that, but whatever. For now, it's not really that. It's not bad. I say this episode's more good than bad, but it still does have a good few problems with it. Like I said, though Boba does actually defeat this monster and saves this Rodian and a Tusken. For some reason, I don't understand why Boba couldn't have just killed that little Tusken and the Rodian and just escaped there, because he hadn't been part of the tribe, I guess. But then at the end of it, but then afterwards, when he comes back to the tribe, he kind of does learn to be a better person and all that. So that's when we're gonna get the good Boba, okay? Yeah, I'm Boba Fett. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's pretty good. Oh wow, that was a good episode. Number 4 is episode 2. So this is my favorite Book of Boba Fett episode that doesn't include anything with like the Mandalorian and Grogu and all that stuff. It's just like specifically a Boba episode, because the last 3 episodes are barely even Boba Fett episodes. But whatever, this is my favorite episode that is definitely should be considered a Book of Boba Fett episode. This is actually a pretty good one. I like when he was chasing the Pikes, the Tusken Raiders on that train. It was a really cool action scene. And yeah, it was a tough decision between this one and the number 3 spot, but I definitely do think that this one it just isn't as good, and I did enjoy watching it, but now thinking about it, there isn't really as much memorable things in this episode as I would have liked. I do not remember what happened in real time in this episode, if there was really anything going on. Well, they did find out that the mayor was trying to kill Boba, so that kind of moves this plot along. I do like there was a cameo of Luke's friends from the deleted scene in A New Hope. They appear in this bar that Boba goes to kill some people and stuff, and they're also in the bar. So they're actually Luke Skywalker's friends. So pretty big coincidence, but it's pretty cool. And I think that is actually Toshi Station that Boba Fett goes to. That's also really, really cool. And this is the episode that Boba actually officially joins the Tusken clan and becomes one of them. And I guess because like realizes that it's better to be part of a tribe and all of that stuff. And this is where we get the meme of like a bantha. So yeah, that's just automatically places it up in the top five just because of that line. I do like that walking scene where he gets that snake or slug stuck in his head, and that was it was weird, but yeah, Boba officially becomes part of the Tuscans, and that was pretty cool. I really did love the sequence where Boba was trying to teach the Tuscans how to ride the speeders. I thought that was really cool, and it was pretty hard for them. And yeah, I thought that was actually a really fun scene to watch. And all around, this is actually just a great episode. And I really enjoyed it in the watch party. I watched episode 1 and 2 back to back. I thought these were really good episodes, and episode 3 and 4 disappointed me. So yeah, what fun that was. So number 3 is episode 7, the final episode of the Book of Boba Fett. I do have a lot of thoughts about this episode. I do think that I probably should have seen Jabba's palace in this episode. It would have been pretty cool to just see it. We didn't really need to go up and have the actual battle in there, but it would have been better. I think we at least just saw it. I still don't understand why they hid out in this like abandoned hut, this abandoned kind of like bar that got blown up in episode 6. But in a way, I kind of do like it because it was kind of like a place for everyone to hang out in Tatooine, and there to be no trouble, and just kind of where everyone kind of came together to just be happy. And now they're taking a stand where that place was blown up by the Pikes. I guess it kind of symbolizes something, so I think that was really cool. I do like the threat of the spider droids, although they come out of nowhere. I do like them. Okay, I wish this episode was a bit more grand scale because there was just 20 people running around and everything, and I kind of just wish there was a little bit more of just a little bit more people there. I know that I don't think they had the budget for that. Imagine even if you just had like 100 people, because I just feel like there's no one in Mos Espa right now. Like, where is everyone? Are they dead, or maybe they're just hiding in their homes? But yeah, I feel like that there isn't that much of a threat really when it. You just feel like there's just 20 people running around. But then again, the spider droids are pretty cool. But then Boba goes with the Rancor. He rides the Rancor and messes up some spider droids. That was really awesome. But if Boba had just used his Slave One, he definitely could have messed up everything right there. He could have probably messed up Cad Bane and the spider droids. He probably should have seen maybe, I don't know, someone steal his ship or something happen to it that maybe he can't use it. I don't know, just an excuse, because right now, since we didn't get to see anything, I just feel like, it's just kind of plot convenience that he just wasn't able to use his ship, because like seriously, man, he would have been able to wipe out all the Pikes with that ship. It is really annoying. Another thing I don't like about this episode is how Fennec Shan goes to kill all the Pike leaders and the mayor and stuff like that. I feel like that should be Boba and Fennec together. Definitely, okay, because Boba is the main character. I know he faces off against Cad Bane, but really, man, okay, Boba and Fennec should have done it together. All the stuff with Mando I really liked, although I would have liked to see a little bit more Boba and just a little bit less of Mando. He was still pretty cool, and he basically is just the third main character of this show. Though I do wish that Darksaber did more to that shield. Okay, it just kind of feels like the dark saber is just kind of like a regular lightsaber to me, and it's just kind of a bit harder to use. That's just all I get out of it. Okay, I don't know all the lore about about the dark saber. Okay, but all I've seen from it, it's just kind of a normal lightsaber. I mean, there's probably some stuff in Clone Wars that I've forgotten about because it's been a long time since I've seen those episodes about the dark saber and all that. And I probably will rewatch them at some point. But all I've seen from the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett is and with the dark saber is just kind of disappointing to me. I do like reunite the how Mando and Grogu um reunite, but I really do feel like that should have been at the end of the series, or not at the end of the series, in Mando season three. I really, really feel like that should have been done in Mando season three. Like seriously, they just kind of, I know. Think we should have seen more of Mando trying to cope without Grogu, going around the galaxy doing some jobs, being reminded of Grogu not being with him a lot more in season three, and then towards the end we do see more of Luke and Grogu, and get what we got to see in Book of Boba Fett episode 6. I think we should have seen that in late Mando season 3. And then, I don't know, something happens where Mando's doing a job and something maybe on Tatooine. Maybe we can see Boba Fett in the final episode of Mando season 3 doing something there. Then we can see Fennec Strand as well and stuff like that. Maybe a tease for Book of Boba Fett season 2, and then in that episode, Mando and Grogu can reunite together, and that could be like a cool arc. But like right now, I don't really know what is in store for Mando season 3. I'm really curious because I literally do not know what is going to happen. Before the Book of Boba Fett, I mean, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen. We're going to see Mando cope with losing Grogu and stuff like that, which should have been what the season is about. But we just got that in the Book of Boba Fett, so it confuses me. Maybe the Mandalorian season 3 will be in between Mando season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. I think that would be cool, but then it's likely that we won't see Grogu at all in Mando season 3, and Disney won't want that. Maybe we could see maybe more of Luke, Grogu, and Ahsoka, and maybe we can even see Luke and Ahsoka meeting. So that'd be cool. So maybe that would be a good idea to have that, but that might just confuse fans because they're gonna expect Mando season 3 to take place after Book of Boba Fett. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay. I've been talking about this for a bit too long. Cad Bane is in this episode, and he was in episode 6. He should have been introduced in the series like way earlier, maybe in the first few episodes, because really Cad Bane should have been the big bad. I think he probably should have even been the leader of the Pikes. He should have burned down the Tusken village and not just the leader of the Pikes. Okay, they should have sent Cad Bane to do that. Okay, now although Boba is already really angry at Cad Bane, I feel like he would have more of a reason to be angry at Cad Bane if he killed all the Tuskens. Because right now, I mean, he's just with the he is just with the Pikes, but he never even killed the Tuskens. So why is Boba even that angry? He should be angry at the Pikes, not specifically Cad. I mean, I know he needs someone to take out his anger on, and Cad Bane was right there, but I feel like it would be more personal if Cad Bane had killed the Tuskens. I just feel like that would just add a lot more weight to the fight that they were having, and that was just a little change. That should be just a little bit of a change that they should have added in there because if Boba doesn't even see the Pike leader again. Okay, Fennec kills him, and that's just the end of it. So that's kind of annoying, but I do like how Fennec's trying to calm Boba down and make him wait until later to fight Cad Bane. Okay, when the fight is more in his favor. I don't know why after Boba puts his blaster down that Cad doesn't just shoot him right there. I mean, Cad Bane does have a good few opportunities to just kill Boba, but like he never really does. I guess he just he just wants to have a good old standoff. And when they do later on in the episode, Cad does kind of just absolutely beat Boba. But then again, Boba does have like a bigger blaster, so I mean, is it really fair? Whatever. Now people are really angry about how Cad Bane died, but I actually really like it. Although I did want the fight to be more, a little bit more longer and stuff. It didn't really need to be that long, but I wanted to see a little bit more of it. But I feel like Cad Bane dying was like it was the perfect way. Okay, I just do wish we got to see a little bit more of him. Maybe that'd be so cool. Okay, maybe even we could get like a flashback of him killing the Tuscans. If he did kill the Tuscans, okay, we should have seen him much more in the series. He should have first appeared like in episode 2 or something. But whatever. The way he died was really symbolic. Okay, with Boba killing him with like the Tuscan Raider spear, he lost with this regular blaster, which kind of signifies his past. But he wins with the Tuscan Raider staff that he got from the Tuscan Raiders. So being part of the Tuscan tribe made him more powerful. Okay, Cad Bane lost because he stayed the same person. Boba Fett won because he changed. He evolved into a better person. Okay, and yeah, that's just the great thing. Okay, Cad Bane lost because he never wants to change or anything like that. He's just the same old dirty scum of a bounty hunter. So with Boba stabbing Cad Bane in the chest, Boba, he's officially a better person now. Okay, even though he's murdering someone, but whatever. People have been speculating that Cad Bane is still alive, and there's like a little beeping noise, but I don't want him to be still alive. I kind of do think he is though, just because it's Disney. But I really don't want him to be alive. Can we just leave him to be dead? We can see him again in Bad Batch, though. I'd like to see him in Bad Batch. Season 2 of Bad Batch is coming out this year. What? But, I think he is dead for now. And, yeah, I would like to see him in Bad Batch Season 2, whatever. And that's how I feel about this episode in full. That was pretty in-depth. I was pretty excited to talk about this episode, whatever. This isn't even my favorite episode. I just do have stronger feelings than the rest of them because this episode is so long. But the other 2 episodes are also really good. Let's get to them. Number 2 is episode 5. This is basically The Mandalorian season 3, episode 1. Yeah, this is annoying because Boba literally does not appear in this episode at all. Not even a cameo that he gets in episode 6. No, yeah, this is kind of annoying. Boba is kind of sidelined throughout the later half of his own show. But whatever, so Mando appears in this episode, and man, if Mando season 3 was going to be like this, I would love it, okay? Seriously. The only problem is that with this episode that kind of makes this episode and the other episode worse is just that it's a Boba Fett show. We're not supposed to be getting all the stuff about the Darksaber and Mandalorian lore and Boba fixing his ship and stuff and him missing Grogu and this a cameo from someone who appeared in Mandalorian, the woman who works at the Tatooine shop and stuff, and a cameo from Or5D8. Well, actually, that could be in Boba Fett, the Boba Fett show. I don't know. Let's talk about all that stuff. The lore about Mandalore is really cool. I really love that. The fight Mando has with the other guy and how he's not even a real Mandalorian anymore because he removed his helmet. It actually gives us the only clue about what we're going to get in Mando Season 3, because he's probably going to want to be a Mandalorian again. He's probably going to want to go down to Mandalorian and redeem himself, which you have to do to be a Mandalorian again, but the mines are all destroyed, so yeah, that's basically confirmed going to be like a Mando Season 3 episode. It might not, it could be a Mando Season 4, but it's probably going to be Mando Season 3, and we're probably going to see him trying to navigate and try to maybe find somewhere that he can become a Mandalorian again, and it's probably going to work. I wouldn't say it's going to be the first episode, but it's probably going to be a goal of his throughout the season, but that feels like just a one episode thing. Okay, of course it feels like Mando's story is kind of finished now. I mean, of course, I'd like to see him again, but I mean, if we're not gonna get a Mando season 3, I mean, I'm not saying that I would like that. I mean, I would love to see a Mando season 3. I'm just saying that it's not the end of the world. We could see Mando going to Mandalore in another season. We could see that in the Book of Boba Fett season 2, couldn't we? I mean, if we're gonna, we basically might as well just give Mando an episode in the Book of Boba Fett season 2. Might as well, because he's already taken over half of this show. Whatever, that stuff was cool. He gets a new ship, a Naboo starfighter and stuff. I did love the Razor Crest. I still kind of wish that it didn't blow up. I mean, you know, though I am kind of proud of Disney for at least getting rid of it. Um, well, I would have liked to see the Razor crashed again, but yeah, they actually got rid of something, and they're not going to bring it back. Of course, Mando has a new ship and everything, but wow, it's impressive. We do see a cameo for someone who was in Mando season 2. This guy, he's like a rebel officer or something, and he's like a pilot. I thought he was Captain Rex when I first saw him because he looked like Captain Rex. But then, if it was Captain Rex, he would be like in his early 80s, and he would sound a lot different. Um, so yeah, I don't know if he would be a pilot. He's probably like sitting on the rebel base somewhere, just kind of hanging out. To be honest. So yeah, and they're kind of going to kind of arrest Mando, but then he flies away, and then they're just kind of lazy and they don't go after him. So that kind of teases that the rebellion isn't. It's kind of become the Empire, and it's also kind of more careless than the Empire. That might suggest that there's going to be more crime in the galaxy. Um, well, I don't know. Whatever. It's just a bit weird to me. Whatever. Anyway, also we get a cameo, I guess, an appearance of someone that appeared in I think Mando season 1 and Mando season 2. She was someone who worked at the shop in Tatooine, and she is giving Boba or Mando his new ship. So that's pretty cool. When he flies it, we actually see the area that Anakin raced in the pod race. So that was really, really cool. I love that. Um, Nostalgia. We get cameo of somewhere we actually only see in the prequels. Well, I guess Mos Espa is in this show, but whatever. Mos Espa barely even feels like what was in episode 1. So yeah, we see Bunta Eve. I think Bunta Eve is just like a place, right? I think so, but that was really awesome. We One of the people that the girl has in her shop, one of the droids she has, she's a BD droid. We also we see a BD droid in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order with BD1, very basic name, just BD1. I don't think this is BD1. It's probably BD2. We see R5D8, the original droid from Star Wars Episode 4, the droid that Uncle Owen was going to pick, but then he had a bad motivator, and then Uncle Owen picked R2. So yeah, he changed the galaxy. That droid, he changed the galaxy. So I guess it's nice to get a cameo from him. That's pretty awesome. And all around, this episode's all right. Fennec Shand goes to recruit Boba for their team. I wish it was Boba that was there so we could actually have an appearance in this episode, but whatever, Fennec can just do it, whatever, I don't care. Just kidding, I do care. And number 1 is, oh man, episode 6. This is probably one of the best episodes of anything in Star Wars history. Like, seriously, this episode was so good. We got to see Luke and Grogu training, which was awesome. I'm not going to talk as much about this episode that I did the last few, because I've already talked about it at length in my first impressions video, so I'm not going to be talking about this episode as much as the others. Yeah, so you have Luke and Grogu training here. I love the callback to Yoda. Seriously, man, that was so cool. That was probably one of my favorite parts about the episode. It was so cool. Mando coming to see Grogu, but then he and having Grogu having the choice to choose between the chain armor and the lightsaber. I thought that was so cool. If they at least leave that until Mando season 3, it would really give you something like to look forward to for the show. Like, we still don't really know what the hell's going on with Mando season 3. So if they left that up in the air, that would be so cool. We just leave that out of the Book of Boba Fett finale. I think that would be better and all that. It would give you something to look forward to the Mando season 3. What he's going to choose. Are we going to see Grogu in Mando season 3 or not? I don't know. Just give you some room to speculate in your mind, okay? I like seeing Luke and Ahsoka interact. I still really want to see them first meeting, And as I said earlier, I think that could happen in Mando season 3. So that's going to be really cool if we see it. I liked seeing all the parts with Grogu training and all that. It was so awesome. The Jedi Temple was cool. We saw those spider droids, kind of trying to build the temple that Luke is going to use. Um, so that's awesome. It's probably the same temple that we see in episode 8, which is also really cool. So yeah. But of course, we kind of already know that Grogu's going to pick the chain armor because in canon, Ben Solo is Luke's first student. So that would be pretty cool. Uh, yeah, I think um, that's kind of one of the only problems about this episode. But other than that, this part of the episode was really, really cool. It was funny seeing R2 as well and how he just shut down at a random point and annoying Mando. And of course, we can't forget the moment with Cad Bane, man. I think Cad Bane looks really threatening with his big eyes and his mouth and stuff. And people have been saying that, oh, his skin is too bright. No, okay, he's in a desert, he's gotten older, whatever, a lot of time has passed. Shut up, no one cares. Okay, go back to wherever hole you came from. I think that was really threatening, and he shot down Cobb Vanth really easily. I like all the things he says. I like that he reminds us that Boba Fett was a cold-blooded killer who worked for the Empire, and it was pretty threatening. And seriously, man, it leaves you with so many questions about what is going to happen in episode 7. Like, seriously, this made me so hyped for episode 7 of the Book of Boba Fett. I watched it the day it released, mainly because I would definitely get spoiled if I waited any longer. But seriously, man, this was so cool. I really enjoyed this episode, and although episode 7 wasn't nearly as good as this episode, I still really enjoyed it. As I said, Cad Bane should have appeared earlier on in the series, which kind of hurts episode 7, but it didn't really hurt this episode because Cad Bane was just awesome, okay? Like, yeah, it was really cool. I do like the deputy. He gets shot down pretty quickly as well. And yeah, Boba Fett Cad Bane shoots down Cobb Vanth and the deputy, and then walks back into the desert like that. Okay, did not talk that much about episode 6, my favorite episode, but whatever, guys. I really enjoyed making this video and ranking all of the Book of Boba Fett episodes. I'm presuming a lot of your rankings are going to be similar to mine, like, with the top 3. I mean, the top 2, definitely. I think a lot of people are going to choose episode 5 and 6 to be the top 2 episodes of the show. I don't know about the rest of you, but you're probably going to pick episode 3 as the worst. I'm presuming. I'm not saying you are. But whatever, there's only 7 episodes in this season, and everyone's kind of saying the same thing, like, it was disjointed, there was doesn't really main focus, Boba Fett should have appeared more, and I agree with a lot of stuff about the show. I think Cad Bane should have appeared earlier, there should have been a main threat, and all that, and all around the show just felt like a mess in some areas, and that's just kind of what I have to say. I just wanted to rank all these episodes, because to be honest, I did enjoy watching this show. Um, I'm excited to rank the Star Wars shows later this year because I still have a hard time choosing between which I like better. Star Wars The Bad Batch or Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett. Seriously, I actually don't know which one I like more. Yeah. Seriously, man, I have no clue. I enjoyed watching both of these shows, but I don't know, they're both equally mediocre. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.